better believe it. Nick out here with another one. This is another DIY project. Why DIY? Not only is it self-fulfillment, you're saving them dollars. You know Nick all about that. Shoot, Nick sporting a Griswold Christmas family shirt because it's hotter than I don't know what out here today. Humid, North Carolina. So I'm wishing for a little cool weather. Anyway, let's get to this DIY project. Today's gonna be on this here ramp going to my building. Look at this, y'all. This wood is worn. It's been up here for years. And I built this ramp to the building where I keep my mowers or a couple of my riders in there. But look at this wood, y'all. Look at the condition. Wore slap out. See that? Rotted out. Now this is treated wood, or was treated, but over years it dries out into regular wood and it just don't hold up no more. So I got some loose boards I need to replace. I'm gonna replace this whole ramp. Speaking of wood, remember my other video I told you about the wood. Man, let me show you this stuff. Man, I'm at Home Depot minding my own business and I'm excited about it. First of all, going to the wood section, going to get me some 2x4x8 treated wood to go on my ramp over there. And I'm wondering why, usually it's busy and people are over there getting wood. It was empty. Ain't nobody over there. So I found out why. Man, look at this wood. Now I'm telling y'all, I went through this wood, this pile of wood, and it took me 30 minutes to find these pieces that I do have. 30 minutes. I had to shift wood, throw pieces to this side, dig under the pile, and look at this, knotted wood. It's crazy. So another fellow walks up and said, "Oh man, you getting a lot of it?" I said, "Well, it ain't much to pick from." He said, "Well, I just need a couple of pieces, because I'm working on a little project, so I'm just gonna get a couple of pieces." And I said, "Well, go for it, because there's nothing but junk." And it took him another 15 minutes just to find 2 good pieces of wood. That's how bad it was. So I went right on up to the counter and expressed my disappointment. Man, I told that lady at the counter, I said, very disappointing. And she said, "With the wood?" I said, "Yeah, it took me 30 minutes to sift through this stuff just to find what I got, and it's still junk." She said, "Oh man, I don't know what I can do, but let me see what I can do." She's looking at the wood, so she gets on the phone, and after a few minutes, she was able to give me about $30 off my purchase. So I said, "Well, yeah, I'll take that." But man, I'm telling you, man, good Lord. Anyway, enough about that, y'all. Let's get this project popping off. So I think what I'm gonna do, because you can see that sun slowly creeping around to high noon. So this is gonna be in full sun here in a minute. So I think I'm gonna pop up my tent I got inside the building here, put me a fan out here. Shoot, Nick ain't no fool. So let's get that set up. Hold on. Oh yeah, when Nick can, he gonna work smarter. Burn up out here today. Got everything set up, saw, cut my wood to length. Told you that fan's gonna be popping off. Now I gotta just remove these boards, get everything set up, get started with that. Let's get it. y'all, this is how it's looking. You can see that wood was done. Now this is treated lumber too, but over time, if it remains untreated, you can see what happens. It won't last. And it's just a matter of Nick not coming back and hitting it every now and then with some water seal or deck sealant and that kind of thing. Because he's too busy working on lawnmowers. You see what happened? Nick, why don't you just take them screws out? Just use your drill and take the screws out. These screws? Take these screws out? Really? That ain't happening. But yeah, y'all, I use screws versus nails because over time you can see that wood will try to curl up. And those screws just hold better than a nail. It will pull those nails out a lot easier. So the screws will hold better, in my opinion. But again, this treated wood will last a long time. But after a while, as that treatment dissipates, you have to hit it with something like Thompson's water seal or a good deck sealant that you put on patio decks to keep it protected. Otherwise, okay, got that old top wood off. All that's left is these ramp brackets that I put up. Look at that mess. So I think I'm gonna use these support brackets over. They're not rusted or anything. I'm gonna use the same ones. Plus I forgot to get some. So all I gotta do is get this wood out. I'm gonna use these same brackets. Now I gotta pick out the 4 straightest pieces of wood that I have for the ramp portion, ramp support section. Yeah, good luck with that. All right, I got these boards pretty much evenly spaced up at the door, the same spacings down here at the bottom. So I'm gonna put me a piece of wood across the bottom first, just to hold it and make sure I won't have no shift as I start at the top and start putting my cross boards down. Shoot, and I'm gonna be using these here exterior wood screws that says countersinking blades. So I ain't gotta do no pre-drill, apparently, because it's supposed to not split the wood when you're putting it in. So that's a plus. Plus a 15-year warranty. Maybe these won't rust out like them other ones did. So we'll see. Huh, okay. as I put these screws in, I could start up there from the top, put my first screw in, and then just put my next screw in line with this one. But Nick ain't got time to do all that eyeballing. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take my handy dandy chalk line, start up there and pop me a chalk line so I can follow that line all the way down to the center of the board. Exactly what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Hey YouTube fam, there it is. Another DIY done by Nick. Got that ramp solid, back in one piece. And woohoo, it's hot out here today. The tent was a good call, I ain't gonna lie. And that fan, cause good gracious, buddy. It's gotta be 103 heat index, plus with the humidity. Man, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, y'all, we back solid again. Look at that ramp, boy. Ready to go. Hey man, this time I'll make sure I keep it, you know, treated with some water sealant and all that stuff. Make it last longer. And them nice screws in it should be a good touch. Down at the end here, I'm gonna get me some bags of sand. I'll put me some sand down here at the entranceway. That way I didn't have to put the wood into the ground to, you know, keep it as dry as I can. So I'm gonna just pack some sand right here in the beginning of the ramp and roll on up it. And keep that wood as dry as I can out the ground. But yeah, y'all, there it is. There's another one. Shoot, saving them dollars. So I'm gonna cut these this old wood into little pieces. Hey Nick, what you gonna do with that wood? Are you gonna dispose of it? Yeah, I'm gonna dispose of it. I sure am. Yeah, I'm gonna dispose of it properly. Yeah, I know what to do with it. All this old wood, yeah. But anyway, we'll catch you on the next one. Hit that like for old Nick. Projects for days. And there's another one. See y'all in the next one.